Yeah, I sure am. I am about 35 seconds away from parking, so we are good to go.
Excellent. Okay. Um, Again, let me just preface that. I apologize for how it was very insensitive,
Yeah.
right? And I can appreciate how a person would feel in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, like I said, I'm speaking for the center manager as well, but he would be very happy to speak with you.
Okay.
Um, that um, you can't explain exactly a person's thought. You can explain the company's um, how we have to go about doing things, and it sounds from what you wrote that was just exactly explained to you. However, in the other times, they could have addressed you as you feel comfortable and as you perceive things are. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there something you'd like to share with me that wasn't in the that you didn't put down that it would be good for me to hear?
The only other thing is one of the lectures that I got was from the nurse.
Okay.
And she specifically heard a lot, because she asked for my gender, and I said, I'm non-binary.
Right.
And she said, okay, but your DNA is female, and you are female, and your ID says female, so I'm going to put down that you're a woman, because that's what you are. And then I said, okay, well, can you at least call me by my name? My name is Sora. And she said, sure thing, Carly. I can call you whatever you want. And then immediately wrote down in big letters my dead name on a name tag and hung it above my head.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
that nearly put me in tears.
Sure.
um,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sure. I can imagine. I yeah. Um. Okay. With that, I'll just interject. First time donors will have a new donor card brought out with them.
Yeah.
And for the phlebotomist, for people to identify, oh, this is their first time, and they put their names on there so proper identification can happen. And so, um, yeah, okay, I can appreciate the confusion there and how it could have been handled, how that could have been handled just slightly different. That would have been accommodating,
Yeah.
which I will pass along. I can very easily see how that one could have been addressed to accommodate the identification as well as your preferred name.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm working through the scenarios right now in my head as we're talking. I spent 20 years, well, 17 years as a center manager, one there in Salt Lake, and in Albuquerque, and in Las Vegas. And so, um, donors, personalities of donors, how best to manage. Um, and I'm not saying yours is a personality, by no means. Please don't take it that way. I'm just saying, working with a lot of people in a lot of different situations, how best to accommodate things can go along. My mind immediately goes towards that, just to try to create the most inclusive place as possible.
Yeah.
So, anyway, um, so she brought you out. She filled out the new donor card to
Mm-hmm.
take you out to the donor floor.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I mean, nothing else that I didn't write in the
Okay.
complaint.
Okay. I can appreciate it. When um we in our system, yes, we when a when a person's not given a gender, there are certain methods we have to take in regards to satisfying all the concerns for the FDA, GHA, just a matter of a donor's own health and um, how we collect things, the purity of the product, things like that. Okay, and so um, if a person identifies as a certain as a particular gender and it's on their ID, we go with that to use the health history questions. Um, having donors go through the process of being a transgender is not new. It is. I would have to say for most plasma centers, it's unique. Um, they're infrequent, I should say, and so they're not, right off the bat, they're not 100% skilled in it, and so they kind of sometimes will fumble their way through, or they'll have to stop, and we'll get, okay, how exactly are we going to manage this process to satisfy health concerns, because it's updated periodically, and so it wasn't written in 5 years ago, and it's the same process today because things do change. Progress does happen.
Yeah.
So slowly, but progress happens. Um, so um, when you're there, yeah, exactly. We will, of course, like to explain to you when we need to identify your screen, when we need to identify you. If you were to see the nurse again later for your annual health assessment, or if there's something had come up with your health history and you need to speak to a nurse, they'd have to identify you, of course, and on the donor form. But just for that identification, name, last four.
Yeah. Oh.
And your picture as well. And, at any time, if you were to change your name for your IDs and everything else like that, we would need to know that so we could update it in the system. And then if we identified you identified anything other than Sora, we're like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because we have something else. And so
yeah,
I
totally understand the paperwork of it. I worked in a hospital for a few years. My parents are both nurses. Like, I understand the paperwork of it. I understand that I need to use my legal name in a lot of things, and my legal gender in a lot of things. I just would have preferred that my actual name, Sora, and my actual pronouns be respected even once.
I can appreciate that. I can.
Yeah.
I can. And Nate can as well. Nate, like I said, is the center manager there. We spoke before I called you. I'm like, Nate, and he was taken back, and it's I've asked him this week to make it happen that that he goes back with his staff and meet with them all, okay? Yeah. And in regards to not necessarily sensitivity, but yes, on how we handle all situations. And a situation such as yours is really nothing strenuous that a person would have to adapt to.
Yeah.
And if someone were to ask me, hi, for example, my name's Paul. I prefer if I'm more comfortable, this is how I am, or whatever the case may be, if you could identify me as this, okay. They might say, bear in mind this, but in the meantime, if they don't know you as Sora, because if you're in there frequently, absolutely, people get to know everyone, and they refer to them. If they don't know you, they wouldn't know. Like next time, if you go in and they call you, they probably wouldn't know to call you Sora. And that's where I am trying to think of a way to make that easier for them.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, he will be talking with them in regards to it. I'm asking him to get this done next week. specified in this week. Just not for all situations that come across. And we're going to revisit. Everyone does once a year. You know, we have our corporate training that comes out, and sometimes things need to be hit on a little more or in a different type of fashion for people to appreciate and really understand, or to bring something home. And it'd be a good opportunity for them to do that now. I think what happened was what you expressed, thank you, because for you there might have been a couple others that didn't see it, that felt that they wish they had a different experience.
Yeah.
And so I think what you did was and to allow Nate the opportunity to work with the staff, because he's got a lot of new staff members, and some that have been around a while, and I think it'd be a good opportunity for him to provide some additional training and work for them all.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew what was going on there.
I think that was good. I think that was a good thing for you to bring it up. One, hate to have anyone upset with an experience in one of the centers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what we're here for. Because the end result of what we do is making medications that people need to just live.
Yeah.
So, we're not in the business of callousness and insensitivity, and we only do this because of our own desire for wealth, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sora, you have my number, and I've talked to donors periodically over time when they've had issues, and I say you have my number. I can. It's not secret. You can call me at any time if something happened. And Nate especially said this: if you hopefully you come back, and if you can have some issues with this, please ask for him. He'll talk to you in a second. He'll drop what he's doing. He'll talk to any donor in a second. That's he's very concerned about that. He's a very nice guy, and he would love to hear from you. He'd love for you to work with him. Because sometimes a little education in certain areas needs to happen, and people can help out with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so, if I'm probably going to put a note there in your file, come back, that Nate would want to speak to you. So if you're there at the same time, he'll be able to come out and introduce himself, and because he's, he got that, and he's like, I don't like to see that come across. I want to talk to her.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Sorry. So, again, thank you for taking my call and being patient and giving us the opportunity to make things right.
Sure thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's anything else, give me a call. Okay.
Will do.
All right. You have a nice day. All right.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.